Thumbnails are the first things people see from your channel, and they can make or break your video's success. If you look at creators like MrBeast or Magnus Media, there's one thing they'll do. They make their face pop in the picture. In today's video, I'll show you 5 simple steps to edit your face, and your thumbnails will never look bad again. How's it going on, guys? Before we start, just a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our weekly tutorials on Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and the After Effects. So first things first, we want to retouch the face, basically removing everything that makes your skin look rough, like wrinkles and acne. So start by making a copy from your layer by pressing Ctrl J or Command J. Pick up the clone stamp tool, and by holding the Alt or Option key, pick samples from the clean areas and draw over the acne. You can also use the patch tool if you got wrinkles in your photo like me and clear them like this. Make sure you drop the opacity a little bit so your retouching looks more natural. Alright, let's have a look at what we've done, and it looks good. Now's the time for our second step, in which we're going to apply a dodge and burn effect to our image. And by dodge and burn, you may think of these tools, which is wrong. So here in the layers panel, add a new curves adjustment layer, and in the properties, drag this right handle to the left until your image becomes too bright. Now we want to name this as the dodge, and you can turn it off for now. Again, add a curves adjustment layer, and this time drag this left handle to the right until your image gets dark like this. Name this one as the burn and turn it off for now. Instead, turn the dodge layer on and click on its mask layer. Press Ctrl I or Command I to invert the mask. Select the brush tool, adjust its size, and make sure you're at 0 hardness with low opacity and flow. And press X to change between the foreground and the background color. Softly, start drawing over the bright parts of the skin, like forehead, cheeks, and your nose. And definitely don't forget about the eyes. Eyes are very important in a thumbnail, so you want to make sure that your eyes look clean and sharp. You can adjust your dodge layer's strength by playing with its opacity. And now we're gonna do the same process for our burn layer as well. Again, make sure you're at low opacity and flow, and your foreground color is white. This time, start drawing your brush over the dark and shadow areas of the skin. Just be careful that you go smooth with this and do not over-darken the shadow areas. Same as the dodge part, brush inside the eyes as well, so they look sharper and cleaner. You can adjust both layers' strength by playing with the opacity. As I mentioned, eyes are very important in a thumbnail, so in the third step, we're gonna add a strong glow to our eyes. Create a new layer and let's name it Right Eye. Pick up the brush tool, zoom into your image, and make sure your foreground color is white. And also don't forget about the 0 hardness. Now you can increase the opacity and the flow again, adjust the brush size, and just click one time on where you want the glow to be. Now press Ctrl T or Command T, adjust its size, and place it where the main glow is located. Now you can just make a copy of this, name it as the left eye, and place it inside the other eye as well. Now this is where we enter the fourth step, in which you gotta be pretty patient and careful because we're gonna add a little bit highlight to our model's hair to make it look sharper as well. So stay tuned, we're almost towards the end. So in this step, our main focus is the front of the hair, the eyebrows, and a little bit of the beard. So go on, create a new layer, and let's name it as hair highlighting. Pick up your brush tool, and for this step, we're gonna use a special brush for highlighting. And you can absolutely download this completely for free via the link in the description. Now you gotta press Shift R to rotate your image because angle really matters for this task. And you gotta brush the hair in the right angle, so make sure your brush is not too thick and adjust its size to the point that it's barely visible. Now patiently start brushing the hair. Just sit back and relax and make sure you're brushing in the right angle. I know it looks kinda hard at first, but don't worry, we've all been there and you will learn it pretty fast by daily practice. Let's not forget about the eyebrows, and your brush needs to be very small for this part. Start brushing smoothly, just make sure you don't overdo it. Same method goes for the beard. Adjust the angle, adjust the brush size, and brush smoothly. Now our job here is almost done. Let's see it before and after, and this looks perfect. You can convert this layer into a smart object, go to the filter, select Gaussian blur, and add a little bit blur to the layer so it will look more natural. And finally, we get to our last step, which is my favorite, and it's the color grading. So here you gotta press Ctrl Alt Shift E or Command Option Shift E to merge all your visible layers into a separate layer. Be sure to convert it into a smart object. Go to Filter, choose Camera Raw. In the Light tab, you can adjust the exposure, add a little bit contrast, adjust the highlights so it doesn't look too white, increase the shadows a little bit so it will look sharper. In the Color tab, you can adjust the temperature, and these all depend on your thumbnail's background and elements. So I'm just adjusting them based on my own image. And here's the important part because it makes a huge difference. I want to add at least 40 texture, 37 clarity, and maybe 10% grain, so my image looks clean and sharp like a painting. In the Color Mixer tab, you can adjust each color's strength. Again, these all depend on your thumbnail's vibe and atmosphere, so pay attention while adjusting each one. Once you're done, click OK. And there we go with our color grading step, and let's see a before and after of what we've done. This looks pretty crazy, just how much the face has become sharper and catchier. If you guys have watched all the way to the end, please don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. Stay tuned for more thumbnail edits, and if you want a complete step-by-step of this thumbnail, or if you want me to create a Mr. Beast thumbnail, let me know in the comments and just tell me which thumbnail do you want a recreation from, and I'll be happy to drop a video out of that. See you in the next video.